Okay, looks like we're live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, wherever you are. My name is Adrian, and I'm the head of growth and partnerships at UX Academy. We would like to thank all of you for joining us today on this presentation on what UX design is all about. Before we go into the main part of the presentation, I just wanted to take you through today's agenda and take you through a little bit about UX Academy, the company who is bringing you today's webinar. So, let's look at what today's agenda is. So today we're going to look at what UX design is, how UX designers work, your journey with UX Academy. We're going to look at some roles and disciplines in UX design. We're also gonna have a presentation from one of our top students, who's a UX Academy alumni and working in the industry. And then towards the end, we'll have a presentation Q&A where we'll be able to answer any questions that you guys have. And then we'll have some free giveaways and some special bonuses. And we'll also talk a little bit about our beginner UX design course program, which starts at the end of September. And thanks for dropping in the comments what countries, cities, towns you're from. We really do like to see where everyone is coming from. I can see Florida, I can see India, so many great places. So why UX Academy? So who is UX Academy and why should you maybe consider us? So here's 6 key points why you should consider UX Academy. So all our training is 100% live online. You can participate on any of our UX design courses from the comfort of your home. You'll also have opportunity to graduate with a signed course certificate from all of our instructors and the founder himself. All of our programs come with mentorship, which is from one of our top UX mentors with over 15 years of experience. All our teachers are experienced with over 7+ years experience in the industry. All of our courses have the option to make payment by flexible options. So whether you want to pay in monthly installments if you're based in the UK, or whether you want to pay in 2 installments or in one go, you're more than welcome to do that. And more importantly, which is what we're popular for as well, is you will have the opportunity to work on real company projects, which is what employers are looking for, which is what they prefer when it comes to working on UX design projects. And when it comes to building a portfolio, these are things that employers want to see. So all of our students come from or either have gone on to work for top companies. So I'm sure you can recognize all the big names on the screen, whether that's Microsoft, Vodafone, Deloitte, FutureLearn. The list goes on and on and on. I'm sure you can see the names on the screen. So if you are fortunate to join one of our courses, we use industry standard tools. So we do use Slack for communicating about the lessons. We use Google Drive for sharing information when it comes to the learning materials, recordings, additional resources. We use Figma, which is the hottest prototyping tool right now in the UX UI industry. We use Zoom for lessons. I'm sure you guys all know about Zoom by now because of the pandemic. We have Miro for whiteboarding, online whiteboarding, that is. And we do have InVision as a backup digital product design tool, which isn't as popular, but we do still have it there for those that want to use something else. Just quickly want to read a testimonial from one of our recent students who graduated from our courses, Patrick Groenman. And he says, UX Academy was a great upskilling experiencing for me. The staff and instructors are all super pros, and getting to dive right into client work was perfect for a learn by doing student like myself. Highly recommended. So Patrick has currently got a job in the industry and he enjoyed studying with UX Academy. All right, so before I hand over to one of our course instructors, Natalia, who's going to take you through what UX design is all about, which is why all of you guys are here tonight, I just wanted to introduce a couple of our main course instructors for the beginner UX design course, should you decide to enroll. And we will share more information about the course in today's presentation. Otherwise, if you do check in the YouTube description box, so whether you're watching on Facebook or LinkedIn, you will be able to get more information there as well. So we have Stratus, who is a UX design lead at Condé Nast, which is a global well-known company which brings you the likes of GQ and Vogue magazine. He's got over 10 to 15 years experience in the industry, and he's one of the main instructors on the course. And we also have Nora, who's a wonderful instructor. She's a UX design researcher at the Defying Crowd, and she's got years of experience in the industry as well, and she's wonderful to work with. So that's all from me. I'm not going to keep you too long. So I'm now going to introduce Natalia to the stage, who's going to take you through what UX design is all about. And how are you doing today, Natalia? How are you feeling?
Hello, thank you. Very good. Hello, Andrian. Hello,
Awesome.
everyone, and welcome to the Intro to UX. Thank you to join us today,
Excellent.
and
Excellent.
let's get started.
Let's get started. Well, I'm going to leave you guys to it, and I'll see you shortly after the presentation. Take it away.
Thank you very much. So, I would like to start today with my story. And before, let me introduce myself. My name is Natalia. Currently, I'm digital product designer in KPMG UK, and I am lecturer in UX Academy. So I would like to tell you my story and my journey, how I became a UX designer. At the university, I studied hardware and software engineering, and it was very interesting for me, and I was very interested about computer and science and programming. So I was around the IT technology, and I found myself interested in web design because for me it was interesting how does it work, how people create it. So I learned a lot by myself. And at the end of university, I knew that I want to be a designer. So I started my career in web design, and I worked in the industry for numerous of years. And at one point, I saw the progress of mobile and internet technology, and I realized how big is the opportunity of user experience field. So I used my web design skills to switch my career in UX. And my one of the first job in UX was for a startup where I work in different positions and cover different position as a UX designer, and I work in a different flow, try different frameworks, and I learn more and more about user experience design. So my colleagues now, they are not all of them from design field, they are not from the programming background, and they switch their career. So that is very interesting about user experience and user experience design, that you can switch your career and you can be even better. Because one of my colleagues, for example, have experience in banking. He worked in bank for a very long time, and in a moment he realized that he would like to work in the UX field, in design. It was interesting, so he switched his career, and he learned about user experience. He complete couple courses, and he find a job as a junior, and his background in banking helped him to find job in the banking sector. So his knowledge from the past about the banking, how work business, how work all behind, help him bring the point of view to his current job as a UX designer. So he could see from both point of view what is design needs as a user needs and what is the business needs. So if you are thinking to switch a career, it's wonderful because it's a very beneficial, and it's quite often a very big bonus for you, because your previous experience in other industry can help you in the user experience, because in user experience we work a lot with users and with people. So this kind of like empathy. So it's very important. So about our talk today. So we are going to talk about what is UX design, how UX designers work, how can be your journey with UX Academy, and what can you do after you complete our course. And after, in the end, of course, I will answer all your questions. So let's start. What is UX design? So to know understand what is UX design, we have to first to think about user experience. So user experience term belong to Don Norman, and we say it's our father in user experience between designers because it's probably one of the first person who spoke about user experience and how user experience important, and he promote a lot. He wrote books about that, and they are our bibles as UX designers. So user experience is the outcome of a user interaction with the artifacts. So if we look this interaction, so basically it's a loop between artifacts and the user, and this loop and interaction, it's user experience. When I speak about the artifacts, what I mean, I will show to you examples. And about the users, so users, it's each person who use the platform, the application. So it's you and me, we are the user. About the artifacts, so what can be artifact? Artifact, it can be mobile application, it can be augmented reality application. On the slide you can see it's a screenshot from Google Map and navigation on the city. So it's one of the artifact what we need interaction. The other artifact can be a platform, like a web platform, for example, some analytics, data analytics, complex data analytics, and someone has to design this, someone has to organize this data, and this is UX designer help with this. The other artifacts, it can be physical product, for example, control, yeah, and this artifact also can be connected, for example, with Netflix, what is more digital, with the physical product. The other artifact, what we also as UX designer work on, is interface, for example, for control auto, or it can be mobile application, which provide the information about your current situation with car, like a temperature, and if you need to repair something. It's also interface, so it can be a physical interface and it can be digital interface in car. Also, we work as a UX designers with augmented reality. We work for augmented reality, like additional reality, virtual reality. And it's also need the interface, it's also need experience, because a human experience with this design and this product. And probably it's I would say the new way of design, it's conversational, because you probably know Siri, you probably know Alexa from Amazon, and you have a conversation. And we say it's conversational design because you have a communication, yeah, collaboration with a machine. And in this moment, you also need to design. You have to design how does it work? How is this interaction between our physical product, like this one, with the end user, how they collaborate, how their connection. So that is also design, even if it's not always visible. Like, for example, conversational design. So UX design is designing based on the user needs, context, and principles to achieve a desired experience. And UX design is a very interesting field, because if you look at this map, you will see where is the UX and what is all around. So it's an ecosystem, right? How we build the product and how business work and how we get the product on the market. And as you see, user experience is in the center. It's a core of any product on the market. This is the reason why a lot of businesses have a UX team, UX department, and they contract in people who consult them to help, if it's a physical or digital product. And as you see, here it evolved in business and design, development. So all work together to get the best experience to the end user, because each product, physical or digital, made for someone who will use, and it's we humans. And I like this quote from CEO of IBM 1973, who said that good design is a good business. He said this 50 years ago when UX design was just beginning, because it was before internet, as you see, yeah, and good design in the physical products, it was so important also. Now we have a digital world, and more digital product become, and it's still very important, because now user and each person has different options, and he or she can decide this product or another product. So how is product of the design is very important, because customer take a decision that use this product or another product. So that is very important for business. And today, as an intro, I would like to show to you how do we work as a UX designer and what we do in our daily job. So UX designers in the work is use different frameworks, and one of the framework is design thinking. And I think maybe you heard about this before, because it's a very common framework and used not just for digital product and design. It can be used for all industry, because we use framework like design thinking to solve the problem. And if I say this very simple, it can be research, ideation, and test, like a very short trip. Of course, each stage has a more details, but in general, it's a flow. So with UX design job, we are researching, we are ideating, and we are testing. And typical task for UX designers in the job, it's conduct user research, we mean end user, people who will use our product, create sketches and wireframes, develop prototypes, so to have something clickable, or if it's a physical product, have a prototype of the product, how it will be, conduct usability testing and iterate, coordinate with UI designers, it's a people who add more visual design to the product, and developers, people who build the product, and define interaction models and user task flows. And here I have a couple of pictures for you, and I would like to explain you step by step. So when we start our process always to find the problem. So usually we start with the research. So we are trying to speak with the people, understand their pain point when we are working on the project, and understand what can we improve. For example, if we speak in some platform, web platform, for example, people already use some platform, and we are trying to discover why they use this platform, how they use platform. So we understand they are trying to understand their behavior, we're trying to understand their life, we're trying to understand how they behave. And we use for these couple frameworks, one of them is technique is empathy mapping. So we try to empathize with our user, with our customers and users, people who use our product. And we build a user journey, so we understand how is the process if user, for example, if we speak about online shopping, so how user take a decision until he get the product, so it's his journey. And we speak about each point when user contact with the company, for example, since he is looking something in the internet until delivery to the door. So all these is experience of the user. And if we speak about the digital experience, it will be probably a website where user can order. So we are taking in interviews, and there are different methods how to make it. And we are speaking in person or remotely with the people to understand their life. Sometimes some products even need people visit the homes of the people, for example, like Alexa, to understand how people will work with the device. We probably visit and understand how people live and how it will work. Next step in our job is align our findings with the team. So usually we work in a group, sometimes in small project you can be one designer, in a bigger project it's a group of designers, so you work in collaboration. But also in a digital product, you also have a product owner, you have a manager, you have a developers, and you all work together and you try to understand what is the pain point, what is the problem, what you need to solve, and how you can solve it. And after research, we align together with the team. We see the priority, we align with the business, and we speak with the business. We show to the business what is the problem of the business, what we found, and what can be improved, and how we can improve it, and how experience can be better. Next stage is wireframing. That's a very interesting because it's a moment of brainstorming when you already know what you are solving, what kind of problem you want to solve, what new feature you want to add, for example, to the mobile application. And it's a moment of the creativity. You are trying to find the best solution for the user, for the interface, if we speak about the digital. And as soon as this is ready, we are going to the testing. Sometimes it can be simple testing when you just draw your idea on the paper and pencil. You go quickly to test, you ask people their opinion, and you validate if your idea right or not right. And you are going to the next round. You try to improve and make it better, better, better. And sometimes, quite often, we are going to the digital prototype. It can be like a next step, or you can skip the wireframing in paper and pencil and jump to the digital. So it's what we are doing as a UX designer. We are creating wireframes. We put that wireframe together, and we have a prototype. So between UX designers, I always say, if you cannot make it, fake it. So there are a lot of tools that help you make a prototype so realistic that user will feel that it's a real app. And you go if it's a digital app, for example, and you go with this application to the user and you test it. And we as a UX designer in this moment validate our idea, we validate our improvements or our new feature, what we change, we add to the platform, for example. And why it's important, because the process of development quite take a lot of time and it's quite expensive. So when we are bringing new idea and we're testing this with wireframes and prototype, we save a lot of money and time for our business. So as a UX design job, we're always creating and testing with the user to understand if we're in the right direction, if it doesn't work, if our idea is right or no, and try to create a solution what is really will work for the end user. And that's your job as a UX designer can be. And here is the very wonderful quote, that designers don't come up with the ideas. The right solution comes from the users, and we are facilitators of the process. I think this is very right, because even if you have a lot of experience as a designer, UX designer, and you have already tried something and it worked for some group of people, it's not mean that it will work for other project, another group of people. So we are always trying to find the best solution, but the right solution comes from the users, because we are testing a lot. And the skills for UX designers. So here is the list of the skills, what is very helpful in our career. And I have to say to you, of course, some people are lucky and they are good storytelling and they are good in communication from their nature. But it's okay if you are not very good storyteller, because we can learn and we are improving our skills. So it's one of the things what we are teaching our students. It's a skills what they need, what they can practice. So the skills what UX designers need, it's a storytelling communication, it's a user-centered design and research methods, what we also teach our students. It's a collaboration and teamwork, and you will have this opportunity to work in your team. User empathy is also a very interesting topic, and it's quite a big topic, because empathize with the people and try how they feel. It's a very important skill for for UX designers, and you need to practice and learn more and more, and you will do it very, very good. And interaction behavior, design skills, and knowledge. It's a very interesting. You will learn it, and it's one of, I think, one of the most interesting, because it's about the behavioral design and how people think and how does it work. And of course about wireframing and prototyping, what I showed to you earlier. So you are working with a lot of wireframes with paper and pencil, how we start our process. Also you work with the different methods like a crazy eight, when you in 8 minutes has to create 8 ideas, and you are going out of your box. Yeah, you are open your mind in this moment. And of course prototyping, when you are create the product, if it's not a functional product but it looks like a real product and user can test it. And I would like to highlight for you your journey with UX Academy. So as I mentioned it, I'm a lecturer in UX Academy. Also we have more lecturer, and maybe if you will join, you will be with me or you will be with Nora. Also we have a strategist. So we split our weeks. So some weeks I teach strategist, some weeks I teach I. So our course is 8 weeks. And you will learn all the process of the design thinking. So design thinking, it's a framework, or one of the framework, but it's the most common framework. So from my 15 years of experience and working in different countries, different agencies, even different continents, human centered design approach and design thinking is most common. So in week 1, you will start with intro to UX design. In week 2, you already will start discovery research. It's a first stage of the design thinking process. You will do discovery. In week 3, it's ideation, and you will already start to ideate and based on your findings in discovery and research. In week 4 will be mapping by framing, where we will make wireframes and paper and pencil, and after go to the digital wireframes, and we will learn new tools how to do it. Next stage will be week 5, it's a prototyping, and week 6, it's a user testing. It's one of the most interesting, because you validate your idea if you were right, wrong, and if it worked for end user. In week 7, we do a design iteration, so we align our findings from the user testing, and we see what is should be next step. And of course, week 8, it's a project presentation. And I would like to mention that in UX Academy, we work on the real project. So you will do all the process, and you will work with the real project, real client. What a very big benefit of this program and our school is that you are hands-on with the real client, and it's not because quite often courses offer like a brief and user like it's more like a persona, what is not really exist. And the task is also, it's a good task, but it's not a real task, and you just create a happy flow. But in our case, we are doing the real project, and now with my course I see some students struggling, because it's a real life, it's a real person, it's a real feedback from the client, it's a real problem of the people, because the product already exists in the world, and they are discovering, they are doing research, why it doesn't work perfect, why something doesn't work, why people leave the page, if we speak about web page. So it's a very, very interesting journey, and you're learning, and immediately you're practicing with the real client and project. And user-centered design, it's what I would like to mention. So it's an approach how work most of the UX designers and the companies and digital hubs. If it's a digital hub inside of the company, like a bank, they also have a digital hub where they work in user-centered design. And user-centered design use this approach, what I mentioned, design thinking, where you have research, where you have ideation, you have prototyping, your validation testing, you're iterating, and you're planning what is your next steps. And about our school. So what I would like to mention here. So when we are learning, yeah, we learning from people better than from videos, right, or records. So in our classes, it's a big, I think, also benefit. We are live classes. So in classes, you have a teacher, you can ask a question. If something is not clear, you can ask the examples. So we are learning in class together with the teacher. Training, it's a very interesting because training, it's a moment when you are doing your fun work. We say have fun work for home tasks. So after classes, after theory, we provide the practice, what you have to do for the project, what you have to achieve for this particular week. And each week, our students back with the already artifacts. And mentorship is also big plus for our program because you can have a mentorship from the designer who will help you in your process if you are struggling in some point. And about mentorship, I also would like to go a little bit deeper. So mentorship, it's an opportunity, have a 30 minutes group mentoring every week with the professional who will provide you feedback, support on your project, remove the blockers if you have any, discuss your UX life, your career, give you advices, and you have a support every week after each piece of the knowledge you will get and you will apply to the project. And what can you do after? So complete the fundamental UX course is beneficial for everyone because you can apply this in many ways at the job, even if you are not work with UX design. So if you are working in some field close, you also will have some knowledge what can help you to understand how people interact with um, your service, your product, and you will understand how improve it. So if you're going to fundamental knowledge, it's already will be bonus for you, even if you're not planning to continue career, but you will understand how we are thinking, how we are working, and how, how human thinking, how their brain work, and what can happen after. So in our course, we are learning UX design, but I would like to show to you a big picture. So as you see in digital world, there are a lot of roles and connected with design. And maybe you have seen visual designer, interaction designer, content designer, product designer, UX designer. So they are all sounds like a designer, but what is the difference between them? So let me highlight for you. So as I mentioned it at the beginning, I am product designer. So I am covering UX research, interaction design, visual design, content design. But if we speak about UX design, it's UX research and interaction design. So based on the our framework, what we usually use, there are a couple different frameworks, but they are also based on the research and interaction design. So UX design job, it's to make a research, is empathize with the user, it's to find their pain points, understand what user needs, and go to interaction. So go to the wireframing, prototyping, testing. So that is user experience designer life. But also you will work with collaboration with the visual designer, because the next step after wireframes and after prototype, it's of course visual designer, and visual designer can help you provide more like colors, styles, fonts, and you are working in collaboration together. Yeah, and user interface designer, it's also interaction design and visual design. It's about the user interface design. So I hope it was useful for you. I hope I clarified the idea of user experience in your mind. I hope it's clearer what UX designer do, and I hope to see you in classes. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Natalia, for that very concise and very clear presentation on UX design. I hope everyone got some great value from that. We're now going to move on to one of the student presentations that we've had from our graduates. So I'm gonna play one of our presentations. So I hope you guys enjoy this one, and we'll be back in around 10 minutes for the student presentations. Sorry, not the student presentations, for the Q&A session. So make sure you stick around. We got some great stuff left to come, and yeah, see you in a bit.
The July cohort this year for beginner UX course. So a little bit of introduction about myself. I'm a marketing executive at Air France KLM, and I'm looking to move into, I suppose, UX because I recently completed a data analytics course. And for me, I kind of want to use data to, I suppose, better services for customers and users. So I chose the course because I wanted more working with a real life case study. And for me, it's also getting to understand a bit more about UX theory and in practice, and also looking at how to use UX tools better as well. So like Figma, looking at prototyping and that side of things. So I was working in a team of 3, and our project was called Blue Pass. So I'll give a brief introduction in terms of what we're talking about within my project slides. So for this, I'm just going to go through insights from discovery research in terms of analysing the actual app itself, walk through the ideation process in terms of what we learned through the research, and also again integrating theory from the course, and then also samples from the design artifacts, so learning about what we learned from Figma, and also just designing wireframes as well for the actual project. So about Blue Pass itself, so Blue Pass is a mobile app that connects NHS staff with companies providing discounts specifically for them. The target market is primarily aimed at the NHS, but it's also more co-focus on doctors, nurses, and ambulance drivers. So when we received the client brief, the focus was on improving the experience, user experience and flow. So this is something that the app doesn't currently offer to users, and it also lacked that activation of discounts and sharing them. The key metrics that we advised to improve on were engagement within the app as well, and also the sharing of discounts. The reason why the sharing of discounts is important is because it's more about, I suppose, growth, and the client wanted to grow the app within the next couple of years to, I suppose, increase the position on app stores. So when we got the brief, we kind of wanted to understand what the market was like currently in terms of discount apps, not just for specifically for emergency services, but then also looking at other competitors within different markets. So our key, I suppose, competitor was Blue Light, and for us, Blue Light is an app that is not just focused on NHS, but it's also on emergency services. So looking at, I suppose, the fire service, looking at coast guards. And for us, it's more understanding the aesthetics in terms of, okay, and how can emergency service people actually log onto the app? How can they be registered to make sure that they are genuinely work for the emergency services? But also looking at, I suppose, design of how discounts are featured on the app as well. Then we looked at other similar based websites as well. So, for example, the NHS staff benefits. So this gave us an understanding of looking at how discounts presented, but not necessarily a direct competitor due to the fact that it's a website rather than an app. So the features and the actual usability would be completely different to what Blue Pass is looking for. And then finally, we looked at apps that offer, I suppose, similar sort of experience like Uniday. So that was more of a indirect competitor, but we wanted to understand how we could present discounts better and also improve the onboarding process, because, you know, Uniday is a growing, I suppose, app for students themselves. So we kind of took inspiration in terms of how people logged on, understanding how discounts are presented, just to get an inspiration and a core understanding of how these sort of apps work. So as we did that, we sort of took, I suppose we had a module in terms of understanding user research, and for us it was taking on two people to research who are currently working for the NHS. Again, it could be any staff members, so working either in the back office or actually frontline staff. So we basically did user research. So we did a 5 minutes warm-up questions to understand their buying behaviors, understanding if they currently use any discount apps, and also looking at the frequency and what they, I suppose, how they use it. Followed by doing a 10-minute exercise with the current BluePass app. So understanding how they would use it, if there's anything that they felt was good, anything they found frustrating, just so we get key points of understanding how we can improve the app better for the users. So I'm just going to pull out a few key quotes that we found from the user research. So one of the key things we found the homepage confusing, as I was expecting to see more than just a blank screen. So it highlighted to us that possibly it wasn't so user-friendly for them to use. I would like asking my friends and family to find codes through WhatsApp. So again, there's kind of that engagement and sharing aspect that the app wanted, and also highlighted the user wanted. And I find the process of finding discount too long. So that was one of the key things for us, is actually, if it's too long, then we're gonna have to simplify the process for the user, just so they can be engaged more and actually want to use the app more frequently. So we took these insights and did some workshop facilitation just to get better understanding of how can we improve the actual app and what are the key things we need to improve on. So before that, we kind of developed a story in terms of who we're aiming these changes at. So our persona is a guy called Enrol. So he's a ambulance driver, and his current scenario is he's been recommended the app by one of his colleagues. And he's looking to use the app for the first time. So he's looking for a really good onboarding experience that he will continue to use for the long term. So his expectations from the app is it needs to be, he wants to save money, but he wants the process to be easy and simple due to time restrictions. Because he'll be using the app on an ad hoc basis, he also wants to feel engaged in terms of using it, and also wants to feel like it's tailored to him. He wants to be able to share these discounts, and that was a key feature for us when we were redesigning, is the fact that these discounts need to be, you need to be able to share these easily to friends and family, and vice versa. So he wants, I suppose, social media integration into the app. So following on from this, we sort of created a hypothesis of how it meets statements. So our how it meets statement was how might we improve the user instructions to the app. And this is broken down into four different aspects. So you need to improve the onboarding process, creating a sign-up login process to make it more obvious at the beginning, improve discount visibility like we've seen in the competitor sites and apps as well. And the most important thing was social media integration to the app. So we kind of took the steps in terms of, because it's a long process, we decided to break it down into creating easier, more digestible steps for the user to use. So for us, it's kind of making sure that the sign up and login was easy to use and just a few steps compared to what's previously. Looking at the discounts, making sure it was more visible and easy to read and actually find the discounts, and then followed by how users might share the actual discounts to make it, again, more easier for them to use. So following on from this, we decided to take all the information we found from the workshop facilitation and actually redesign the app. So we all took in turns to sort of take small parts of the app that we felt we can improve on, but still have that same aesthetics of what the app was previously like, but then also taking on notes from other sites that we've seen, like similar competitor sites, basically. So basically just have an idea of how might we redesign the app for Enrol, to making sure it was easier for him to see and actually use, before following on to redesigning the actual app in Figma. So we kind of made high fidelity frames, as well as making it a prototype that was interactive as well for when we did the usability testing. So for us, it was simplifying the sign in and login that was similar to other sign-in pages that we've seen from competitors, and also like websites like Groupon or even Voucher, just to name a few, just so we can simplify the process. And then followed by, again, how the user will go on to looking at how the discounts are presented. So making sure the tiling format is something that they're familiar with other discount apps, but again, easy to read, easy to find what they were searching for compared to what it was like previously. Of the office page, make sure that it was more concise, but then also making sure it's users can read as much as they like, give and take the information that they find on the site. Again, that's a similar feature that's been featured on other sites that we saw. So for example, Groupon does a similar thing. And then the most important feature that we had to add in was making sure that there was a share button and make sure it was visible for the user for sharing this discount via social media sites. So our recommendations that we presented to the client was to simplify the onboarding process through creating a tile-based homepage, and also improving how users sign up and sign into the app itself. Stacking the offers with discounts highlighted, and reducing text to balance with more images to make it more visually pleasing, and increasing, I suppose, the engagement with the app itself. And then finally, sharing and promoting via social media apps. So yeah, that's
Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed that short presentation from Sam, who is one of our top students. She will be speaking at UX Festival for those that have your tickets for September's UX Festival, or for those who sign up to the course, you will be able to get a free ticket. All right, so let's move on to the Q&A session. So for those of you that have questions in the chat, whether you're on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, we're now going to take them. We're going to spend a few minutes going through them before we start to wrap this webinar up. So if you have any specific questions, feel free to get them into the chat and we'll be happy to take them. So we do have one question come in. Anna says, would love to see your opinions on some prototyping tools in the Q&A. Okay. Yeah. What would you like an opinion on? Please let us know. Anna says, is Figma the only wireframe tool you recommend? I'll let you take that, Natalia.
Yeah, thank you. Good question. So actually, Figma, it's a very good tool, a one-off tool. So there are other tools like Sketch. There is Adobe XD. You also can make a clickable prototype. You can do prototype with InVision, but why we think Figma can works for all of our students, because Figma work for Macintosh and Windows. And that's a very big bonus of this platform. Also, you can install application or just open in the browser. That is also very, very useful. So this is the reason we recommend Figma. And also it's a free, so you can start your first project for free, and you don't need license and pay addition.
Perfect. Thanks for that answer, Natalia. That's very useful for us to know. Edward says, how long did the whole process take from start to finish? Please be a bit more specific in terms of what you're referring to. Or did you have an idea, Natalia?
About the design thinking process. Yeah, so it depends, of course, from project complexity, deadline, of course, client deadline. Sometimes we sleep less to achieve the deadline. And so if it's a small project, it can take 2 weeks. So you do quick research, especially if the client provide you access to the end user, so you already can very quickly schedule the interviews after you ideate. And if you have a group of designers, ideation, of course, is brainstorming. You work together, it's collaboration, it's always faster. Sometimes a project take years, and it's very normal. So if you work in the product and this product launch, you always have something to improve. So we always work in. So each product, what you can find in internet, actually need improvements always, because you can always do something better. So you can be in-house designer who always iterate and make it better. But if it's a small project, it can take just a couple of weeks.
Thank you. Let's move on to the next one. Theodora says, most UX jobs I have seen ask for a degree in graphic design. Do you think I would need a top up in graphic design to succeed at making the career change? What do you think?
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't think graphic design, it can be, so some company can ask, but it's again depend the size of the company. So if you are going to the small startup and you will be one designer there, you have to use the different hats, and you have to be a visual designer, graphic designer, create, I don't know, logo, icons, and UX, and do research. So you will do all, you learn a lot all in this moment, but it's a lot of job. If you are going to the bigger company, what is better structured, you will have a different fields. So your role will be very clear what you are doing. You are doing UX design, or you are doing graphic design or visual design. So it depends of the requirements, but I have to say that it's not always. And you need to just ask more, and what do they need when they ask about graphic design, because most of the product already have a design system, visual style, just you need to follow, and you need maybe some basic fundamental knowledge in visual design to provide better mock-ups, but not necessarily graphic designer education what you studied at university.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Natalia. Let's keep moving to the next one. Alexi says, while job browsing, I see a lot of UX UI positions. Does it means that it's a smaller companies, and I need to be able both? Okay, that's not great English. Need to be able to use both UX and UI, which is what he's trying to say.
Yeah, so we use UX/UI. It's a very interesting because you can cover two positions, and I have a lot of experience. I start my career like a web designer, so I touch first UI and after jump to UX. So it's possible, and you will be unicorn in the team, and people will appreciate it a lot because you can cover two positions. This is very fine. But also, if you start your career, of course, you can focus more. But with the time, I think you will improve your skills. And if you will be interested in UI, you will improve more and more UI skills. But you can also be just UX designer, and it's totally fine. And don't touch UI at all and work in collaboration. And also UX can be research. So maybe you would like to feel that you're more about research, empathy, and understand the pain points of the people. But some company looking UX, UI designers, that's true.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Natalia. We've got a couple questions coming about the course. What is the benefit of this UX course? So they're referring to our beginner UX design program over a diploma course. I'll definitely say is the practical aspect of the course, and having the ability to gain real life client experience as well.
Yeah, it's what I would like to add, mention it. So it's not easy, and some students struggle, it's true, and sometimes they're close to cry, but we find a way how to solve it. But what is important in these courses, especially in the UX Academy, that it's a real project. And I have you seen the SAM presentation. It's a real client, real project, real problem. And in this moment, you are learning a lot. So this is the very huge benefit of the course. And also because you have a life coach, so you have a mentor, so you can ask the questions.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And we have another question here. Yun G says, is this a good course for complete beginners who wish to dive into the career straight after? I would say yes. I'll definitely say yes, because the course is designed to get you prepared to be able to apply for at least entry-level roles, entry-level UX, UI roles in the industry. So you can go straight into a job. We've seen a few students do that. Did you want to add anything, Natalia?
Yeah, so it's a course. We cover all fundamental things, and you can find after a junior position or maybe internship for the beginning. So, but you will already have a fundamental knowledge. So, and after you will learn while you are working. And fundamental is important because it's structured, and you will understand in your mind what we are doing and what the whole team around you is doing, and you will just improve your knowledge and go deeper and deeper. And I would like to say why I like my job as a UX designer, because it's a process, you never stop. So you're always learning. You're always learning something new every day from the people, from technology changing. So this is something what you are learning every day. So it's not like you learn once and after you just work. No, it's constantly you are learning, but fundamental knowledge is what you will get.
Perfect. That's a great answer. Thank you so much, Natalia. Black Satyr says, I had a chance to look at Natalia's dribble portfolio. Okay. The layouts look awesome, but I noticed most of the design relied on awesome photography. Does UX rely heavily on other designers? Interesting question.
And so Yeah, so thank you very much to visit my Dribble portfolio. And that's cool. And so yeah, portfolio, it's of course how you express yourself and you want to show this, and it's more like you show yourself. Real project, they're a little bit different, right? So you use what material provide you the client, but you need to have some point of view, because if you see my portfolio, I focus there not UI, not just UX, I also UI, so I have these skills. Yeah, so for this reason, it looks a little bit like so pretty. Yeah, but for UX, it's not necessary to have this skill, and you can leave it as a wireframe, just as an idea, and go already to
Perfect.
the test.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Natalia. Let's move on to the next one. SH says, does the course cover UI as well? Yes, it does. There is UI included in the course. That's a short answer. We're going to move on to the next one because of time. I'm going to take the last few questions. Valentin says, would you highlight any recommendations when transitioning from the engineering, designing, research, and field?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, engineering. So if you have a passion, if you feel that it's something what you would like to try, so there is a very good book, Don't Make Me Think. So try to read this, and I think it's a bloom up your mind. And yeah, it will be good start.
Thank you, Natalia. Kami Zam says, how much does the course cost? So the course costs £1,050. If you stick around, we do have a little surprise coming up very shortly. Ro says, do you have any tips for applying to a UX position? For example, what can't miss in your portfolio?
It's a good question, but it's a very big question. So sorry, don't have time. Yeah,
Coming to the
but
course.
yeah, but about UX portfolio, just shortly, you have to add your process. So how do you work? What you do step by step? And Sam, she present very good in a way. So she explained what was the pain point, how they create the user journey map. So you explain step by step in your UX portfolio what you have done, and you show the process where you start and where is it. So not the final, whole the process, why you are taking this decision and how you why you decide this and how you decide this. So add this to your portfolio.
Great, thank you so much. Let's take a couple more questions and then we'll bring the Q&A to a close. Shrita asks, how many projects do we need to start applying to different places? It's a good question.
Sorry, not very clear for me what means for
That's fine.
different places.
I think what she's saying is, how many projects does someone need to apply for
For
different
job.
UX UI roles? Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
3, it sounds already good.
Yeah.
So you can start with, of course, perfect. If it's a real client, real project, you can start with case study and try to improve something. Take one very famous platform and try to make it better. Yeah, but I think 3, it's already.
Yeah, 3 is pretty good. Yeah. Okay. Judy asks, most jobs require experience. How can you get a job in the field with just only having qualifications?
That's true.
I guess I'll answer that question. I mean, qualifications is not alone sufficient to get into the field. You do need experience, and courses like ours do give you real life projects to work with, not just during the course but also after the course. There are work placement opportunities for you to get involved with if you come along to the course.
Yeah, and try to maybe with internship, just try to find some couple months and work as a shadow of a designer to see how that does he or she work. And with the time, you will improve your knowledge and you will join. It's actually how I start my career. So I was shadow, and I tried to help the other designer. He explained me what I have to do. She showed me what I have to do here, there, what I have to design. And with the time, after a couple of months, they offer me junior position.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much, Natalia. Well, that's going to bring the Q&A session to the close. And yeah, thank you for all submitting your questions. Natalia, if you do have to run off, you're more than welcome to at this stage. Thank you for joining us. Okay.
Thank you
But
very
otherwise,
much for
you are
your
welcome to stick
questions,
around.
and yeah, happy to be here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Natalia. Thank you very much. All right. So, okay, guys. So that there you have it. So if you do want to enroll onto our next course, the link is if you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, the link is in the description box below or in the live chat. It's all pinned on there for you. Or just visit myuxacademy.com/enroll to secure your place in our next beginner UX design course program, which is coming up on Thursday, 23rd September. We would recommend you to secure your place before earlier rather than later, because places are going fast. We have a special offer for you today, 10% off the entire course price, which is £1,050. Use the workshop code workshop10 to get your 10% off, and then we will apply the rest of the discounts during the course. Once again, all the links are in the description box below on YouTube, or whether you're watching on LinkedIn or Facebook, and you can get yourself a nice sweet 10% discount. Now we do have special bonuses for those that want to sign up tonight. So if you sign up tonight, you do get these free bonuses. So you do get free 10 UX books worth £160 in value, including the one that Natalia mentioned in the Q&A session, Don't Make Me Think. So yeah, you will get all of those books, in digital formats tonight, if you do enroll to the course this evening. You'll also get our full free 23-page guide into breaking into the UX UI industry that myself and my team have put together for you, which will probably place at maybe £20 value for you if you were actually to buy it. Bonus free is going to be a free subscription to Quick Test Premium, which is a A/B testing app. You have access to the premium version, which is worth around £85, and you get a year subscription free of charge. All right, so more reasons to choose UX Academy. So once again, let's look into all of these reasons why you should look at considering enrolling into the UX Academy course. So once again, we have 8 weeks live lectures, as Natalia has discussed with you earlier on today in the presentation. We've had hundreds of graduates that have come from the course since we moved online during the pandemic in March 2020. We have flexible lessons, as Natalia has already discussed with you. Students getting jobs. Here's an interview I did with Zarina, who graduated a few months ago and got a job as a UX designer at a fintech company. We will make sure that you can go and check that out. You'll also get a professional portfolio and work placement after the course. If you look at the logos on the screen, those are some of the companies that some students have gone work placements with after the course, and they've done fantastically, even with internships as well, paid internships. You're going to get career and tutor support, especially in week 7 and week 8 and throughout the week as well with some of our instructors. You're going to be one of the you're going to join an exclusive club of the UX Academy alumni, which gives you free tickets to events such as UX Festival coming up in late September. You're going to get events tickets. You're going to get discounts to UX UI software, access to UI software, and so much more. And you're going to get mentorship as well, 30 minutes mentorship, group mentorship each week. And Natalia has already discussed the benefits of getting mentorship with UX Academy and what that can do for you each week for your career, for your UX life, and also for your portfolio. That's going to do a lot of good for you. All right, so we have come to the end of the webinar. So as a thank you for all of you taking time out of your busy days to spend it with UX Academy, there is a free giveaway for you guys to get that you guys can download. How you can break into the UX design industry. So it's a 6-page guide, not our full 23-page guide, which is given if you sign up to the course tonight. So if you just visit the link on the screen, that's http:// bit.ly/UX Academy Guide 6. Or if you just look in the YouTube description box below, you will be able to get that link and be able to download your guide right now. So yeah, once again, just a reminder of the special offer that we have tonight: 10% off the beginner UX design course. Remember, places are going quickly. This is one of our more in-demand enrollments because it's after summer and people are back in the education mode and they do want to get upskilled and they want to get, their training. So make sure that you do, secure your place, sign up if you are interested. If you do sign up and you are unable to make the course just before the course starts, we can refund the deposit, just for you to let you know. And there are payment plans as well. There are monthly payment plans. If you're in the UK, you can spread the cost in monthly installments. So head over to myuxacademy.com/enroll, or check the link on the YouTube description box, or whether you're streaming on Facebook or on LinkedIn, you should be able to see the links there. And that's all for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you again for joining us. If you do have any questions, do get in touch with us. Or what you can do is you can also get in touch with me. Just drop me an email, adrian@myuxacademy.com. So this YouTube presentation is available to watch on the live stream, on the replay. So feel free to play the YouTube video back if you wanted. Okay. Now, if you do take the monthly installment plan, there will be no discount applied. This is only for those that want to pay in 2 installments. So that's paying the deposit and then paying the rest of the money during the course. Okay. All right. We'd like to thank you everyone for joining and have a good night. Thank you so much.